LoreWarrior Online. The Fire Scorpion. Overview. Four-legged mechs offer increased stability and maneuverability over more conventional two-legged designs, yet no military ever fields more than a few of these. Mech warriors dislike the rough ride such mechs commonly provide, and resist adapting to the unique piloting style that the four-legged mechs require. Despite these factors, Clan Goliath Scorpion turned to a four-legged design to produce their totem mech. Strongly resembling a scorpion, the Fire Scorpion incorporates a structure resembling a scorpion's tail raised to attack. The claw-like devices near the cockpit are actually armoured guards, placed on either side of the head to keep the ground troops from sniping at the unusually low cockpit. During the brutal absorption of Clan Widowmaker on Roche, the Fire Scorpion developed a reputation as a resilient and deadly urban fighter. Capabilities. The Fire Scorpion combines two of the most efficient weapons in the clan arsenal to fill a wide variety of combat roles. Equally at home providing cover from attacking fighters or supporting infantry on the ground, the mech is hampered only by its relatively slow speed and lack of jump capability. As one of two genuine totem mechs, along with the Mandrill, deployment of the Fire Scorpion is controversial. Many Goliath Scorpion leaders believe it belongs in frontline units as a symbol of clan pride. However, most mech warriors and commanders feel the mech to have limited tactical use and decry its non-intuitive piloting style. The Fire Scorpion's low cost and rugged design have made it a mainstay of Clan Goliath Scorpion's second-line forces, as they're more likely to engage in urban combat, where the Fire Scorpion excels. Deployment. The Fire Scorpion is a common sight among the garrison forces of Clan Goliath Scorpion. The Scorpions usually deploy the mech together with elemental forces, allowing its combination of heavy armour and suitable and sustainable firepower to facilitate infantry operations in close quarters. Variants. One modification of note was adopted by Star Commander Temujin of the 20th Scorpion Cuirassiers. Temujin upgraded his Fire Scorpion to support an Ultra AC-20, 2 LRM-10, and 5 machine guns in place of the standard weaponry, with 4 ton of ammo to support the massive cannon, 2 ton of LRMs, and 200 rounds for the 5 miniguns. The design is a dangerous urban opponent, rounding out the arsenal as a beagle probe to uncover any enemy ambush points, and a useful addition given the possibility of action against inner-sphere forces in the near future. So it's a 65-ton heavy with a Coriolis Class 6 Endo-Steel quad-frame chassis. Its power plant is the Fusion 260 standard, and it moves at 43 kph with a max speed of 65 with no jump jets. Its armour is the Forging SA-722 with case, and it's armed with a single Type 1 KOV LB-10 autocannon, 1 Irrlicht Gamma Series Ultra 10 AC. It's manufactured by Roche Quadplex Alpha, and its communication system is the JNE integrated. Targeting and tracking is produced by the TR-TTS Mark II. What does this translate as? Well, this is a mech that walks 4 and runs 6. It has 10 single heatsinks, which is probably more than enough for the 2 ACs. It's got 9 armour on the head, with 31 on the CT, 10 on the rear, 22 on the side torsos, and 7 on the rear of those, and its legs are all split between having 29 armour each. The LB-10 is located in the right torso, which is the humongous barrel you can see there on the right side of the artwork, with 30 rounds of ammo also located in the same torso. The Ultra 10 is located in the left torso, with the ammo also in the same side. It looks like it has more of a kind of pivot point for the Ultra 10. You can imagine the idea that it might be able to track upwards to shoot at targets above it, and possibly even at things like low-altitude VTOLs or incoming fighter craft, possibly. I mean, this is the world of Battletech, where a lot of the writing does say that mechs are capable of targeting and tracking high-speed attackers like jets, but then you have other periods where, obviously, it's like, nah, I just don't think a mech would be able to do this. It has a quartet of APODs, which you can see on the legs as well. For anyone who doesn't really know what APODs are, basically they're anti-personnel explosive devices. Basically, if infantry try to get close, they pop an APOD, and a load of white-hot shrapnel approaches the target. It's pretty nasty. So, a piece of tech that obviously doesn't really make it into the games for obvious reasons. It's just infantry and tanks have very rarely been featured in the more digital incarnations of BattleTech and MechWarrior. So yeah, obviously you do see them in things nowadays like HBS BattleTech and occasionally in the older MechWarrior games, but they weren't as featured as heavily. And Infantry certainly very rarely, if ever, make appearances. Obviously MechWarrior 5 had a mod that was made by PGI to add Infantry, but they didn't really sort of do much, unfortunately. Outside of the mech, visually, for me, again, it's that thing where there's just oversized guns. I just don't think the guns need to be quite so massive sometimes in the artwork. I don't actually dislike the appearance of it. The little stinger tail at the back is adorably stupid looking. As a totem mech, it makes sense, of course. It has to have a scorpion-like appearance, but I don't know. It just looks like it's got this little baby tail sticking up over the back of it. The front kind of looks like, yeah, it does evoke a scorpion, obviously, but it's just kind of silly looking. I would hope that if Catalyst get around to updating these visually, that things like the Fire Scorpion might get a bit more of a trim down. Maybe go on a bit of a diet for some of the weapons and stuff. I think this could look really, really good. It doesn't look bad now, but I think it could look better. But yeah, I don't dislike the mech itself. It makes sense as an urban combatant. The LB is really good at being able to obviously deal with things like infantry because of the shrapnel shot. And you imagine it's, at least on average, you're probably going to go with a 50-50 split for ammo. So it's got the capability of doing 30 damage if it was to double tap the Ultra 10 and solid shot the LB at a target. That's a good chunk of damage to any urban combatant there. It's certainly not the kind of damage that any mech really wants to take in a single hit. But even just on a standard shot, it can do 20 damage. So it's pretty effective, and it's got lots of ammo. 30 rounds of fire means it can stay in the fight for a long time. Supported by other, obviously, mechs within its star as well. And yeah, it's quite effective, but only in its intended role as an urban combatant. It would certainly be a mech that I would... it'd be the kind of thing I would actually offer players to have at some point, because it's not so powerful that it would like completely throw out a game. But it's got its own drawbacks. Obviously, being entirely ammo reliant is a big problem. There's the risk if the side torsos get penetrated. There's always the risk of the ammo exploding. It can't move that quickly. So there's good bonuses and there's good negatives to this vehicle. So yeah, it's not bad. And as an opponent, it's not a bad vehicle either, because canny players can work around the limitations of it by trying to outmaneuver the enemy, but at the same time there's a big risk of trying to just go head on with this thing. So yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty cool. Yeah, just it's one of those decent, it can be a good opponent for players, but it can also be a good player mech as well. And so there's no real downside to bringing one into a campaign for the players, or just in general, I guess, as just a unit in your force. I can't remember if this battle value 1300 or just shy of 1400 points, so not too terrible either. So yeah, but yeah, we'll wrap that up. That's the Fire Scorpion, and yeah. All right, well, have a go on. Thanks for listening, as always. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.